Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Having my tea with you guys here this morning. And it is chilly out, but it's not real cold, not for November in Michigan. And today is Saturday, the 9th of November, 2024. And I thought I'd just have a little prep chat with you guys here today and kind of discuss some things I'm doing and some general preparedness. And the first thing is I am extremely thankful that there hasn't been any type of civil disturbance or unrest nationwide here with the election this week. I am extremely thankful that basically nothing has been going on. And it's been fairly quiet here in my area. I haven't really seen anything out of the ordinary other than people just, getting ready for winter. So that's the first thing that I wanted to mention. Another thing is I started a new job 6 months ago, and because I started a new job literally down the street from where I live, my world has contracted significantly in these last few months. Now, for 30 years, I had to drive, 20, 30 miles to go to work. So, I always, the gear that I carried and the equipment that I have in my vehicle and stuff, that always revolved around if something went wrong and I had to walk home. So a lot of the stuff that I carried with me on a day-to-day basis was if I had to spend a couple of nights outside and, in all seasons, or if I had to walk, 20 or 30 miles home over the course of a day or two. And I don't have that now. I mean, I literally could jog to my place of employment, and that has been a real blessing. So I've been starting to kind of look at my gear. Now, I still do travel and do things that are further away from where I live, but on a day-to-day basis, my world has shrunk. So I'm considering, what am I going to do, with my get-home bag and with the stuff that I carry on a day-to-day basis, because I don't need that much stuff anymore. So I've considered kind of paring down some of the stuff that I have. I'm still going to, carry stuff like, water in my vehicle, and I'm still going to have, the appropriate outerwear if I am outside for a little bit. But I'm thinking about paring down some of my larger bags into something like this. This is my Hill People Gear kit bag that I've had for a couple of years now, and I've really enjoyed this piece of gear. I got this one here set up for shooting, basically, and I've got some medical stuff in this and some real basic stuff like chargers and charging cords and knives and medical gear. There's a cat tourniquet there on the bottom, and then I've got magazines and spare ammo and that kind of stuff in that one. But I'm thinking about setting another one like that up, or maybe revamping that one to have just basic survival stuff in it, basic stuff that I would just want anyway, no matter where I was at, significantly smaller and lighter than, your typical 13 to 25 pound get-home bag, and something that small too. I actually can wear underneath a larger coat. All my coats, I always get at least one size larger. So if I want to layer with, sweatshirts, hoodies, whatever, or have some type of gear on, I can put that on underneath my coat, and then the gear is protected by the coat itself. Plus it's closer to me, easier for walking. I don't have a lot of straps and stuff that could get caught if I'm, sneaking through some brush or that kind of stuff. So that's something that I have considered recently here. How am I going to pare my equipment down? Because that 30 mile walk really isn't as possible now on a day-to-day basis like it was for literally decades. And another thing, I grabbed some few things that I picked up here recently, old stuff. I'm always promoting the old stuff here, but picked up a bunch of these guys right here. This is the old blue ball mason jars. Now, these aren't really recommended for actual use for food and stuff anymore because of concerns of lead and different things they put in these. But these things haven't been manufactured since like the late 1930s. So these have become actually pretty collectible. So that's actually the reason I grabbed these. I might be able to clean these up, maybe resell these or something, and get some money for some other more useful things that I might need, because the economics of preparedness, when people talk on prepping channels and stuff, it's usually about, buying stuff, stockpiling stuff, gold and silver, that kind of thing. But, that ability to always make a little bit of money wherever you're at, whether it's, buying and selling, reselling stuff, being able to do odd jobs, picking up skills that you could use at a later date that are, barterable or, sellable if you know how to fix things or do things. These are those prepping skills that you can take with you, and they can generate income. So any little thing that can generate income, I think people should people should change their mindset. That is a prep. If you can turn stuff that isn't really that valuable into something valuable, whether it's through your knowledge or it's through marketing, because if you're selling stuff, if you're buying stuff, you're selling it, whether you know it or not, you're actually marketing stuff. You're either marketing yourself and your skill, or you're marketing whatever the product is that you're moving on. And that's something, when it comes to preparedness, I just don't think people talk about that enough, because that's actual real world stuff right there. Was in one of the big company stores. I'm not going to mention their name. And I picked this guy up right here. This is a charging pack. Now, I've had a couple of these over the years. In fact, I got one out on loan right now, but you can see there, it was on clearance for $37. And according to this sticker here, it was originally $50. So that was a little bit of a savings on that. And those jump starter kits, jump starter packs, air compressor packs like that, those things are extremely valuable. I remember the first time I got one of these was probably about 20 years ago, and I jump started countless cars, put air in tires and that kind of stuff, because the two most common things that you're going to have go wrong with a vehicle is you're going to have either a dead battery or you're going to have a flat tire. Those are just things that happen literally on a day-to-day basis. And properly used, one of these jump starter packs can actually help with both of those things. Now, all my vehicles have jumper cables in them, but sometimes you don't have access to another vehicle, so the jumper cables aren't going to do you any good. Where one of these battery packs here, they can actually jumpstart the vehicle by themselves. So they're a good thing for people to have, especially if people don't have a lot of technical knowledge when it comes to how an automobile works. And then the second thing is these things can pump up tires. And this one here actually has some charging ports on it where you can charge devices too, which is sort of more of a modern, the first iteration of those that I had, they didn't have that kind of stuff on them, but some of them will have a small, like a regular plug-in outlet, or they'll have these charging ports now. And the charging ports are kind of nice because now you can charge a phone or a personal device off of one of these packs as well. But the other thing is these things can pump up tires. And this isn't, people don't change a lot of tires on the side of the road anymore. They use their cell phone to call somebody to come help them. So the knowledge of changing a tire is something that a lot of people just don't know anymore. They don't do. And another thing is because a lot of people don't do that, they don't think about like the spare tires and stuff on their vehicles. I bet you probably 50% of the people watching this right now, if they went out and checked the air pressure in one of the spare tires in their vehicles, it's going to be below what the standard is supposed to be on that. So now you went through the trouble of taking your bad tire off and you put a new tire on, and now you don't have any air in that spare tire. Well, something like this charging pack with an air compressor on it can actually remedy that situation right there on the spot. And another thing is if you have a basic patch and plug kit for a vehicle, and that's another thing that I carry in my vehicles nowadays, you can actually repair a tire right there where you're at. You don't even have to take the tire off the vehicle. And that is something I have used multiple times over the years. When you pick up a nail in a tire, or one of the worst ones we ever had, actually picked up a broadhead from bow hunting when we were out traveling up north, and we were going to these different trailheads, and cut a pretty good hole in the tire, and I was able to actually patch that with one of these plug kits right here. And what these are is, these are basically like a sticky piece of cord where you pull the nail out and you insert these sticky pieces of cord in there to plug that hole. Then you can use your air compressor pack to pump that tire up, and then you can actually get out of there and get to a place where they can actually repair the tire right then. So it's sort of an emergency procedure on the side of the road. Well, then you don't have to take the tire off. You don't have to fumble with a jack. If you're sitting on like an incline or something where you can't really jack up the vehicle or anything. So now you see some of the reasons why I think that, carrying one of these charging packs with air compressors are extremely valuable to somebody that's into preparedness, because you can not only help yourself, you can help other people out, family members, whatever, because there's always that kind of stuff going on. But there's a couple things about these plug kits that I want to mention. One is you should check them from time to time. And I just checked this one here. This one here is the one that I carry in my truck. The plug should look like this. These are actually good to go. This is the kind, the plugs you want. But because they sit inside they're kind of like this rubberized compound. Because they sit inside a vehicle and they're subject to those extreme temperature swings, they can turn into something like this, kind of like mashed goo. This right here is no good. This is junk. And from time to time, you want to check these plug kits if you keep them in your vehicle, so you can... they're still serviceable. So this guy here is going in the garbage can, and this guy here is still good for service. So this guy's going back in my vehicle. Another thing that helps these two things out, that I'm going to mention to you guys too, is a bottle of soapy water. I always carry a bottle of soapy water in my vehicles, because if I do have a flat tire, I can take the air compressor here, I can pump air into the tire, then I can take the soapy water and I can splash that on the tire, and where that makes bubbles, that's where your hole is. So if that helps you locate where that nail is or whatever in your tire, so you can remove that, you can patch it, and you can repair that. But that's all some stuff that I do here, and because I got that jump starter pack pretty reasonable on clearance here, I'm going to actually pull this guy out of the box now. I'm going to plug it in, let it charge for a good 24 hours, make sure it's good to go, because it's going to go in one of my vehicles and just add to my preparedness. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee, just having a chat with you guys here on a Saturday morning. Like I said, I'm extremely thankful that there hasn't been any type of civil unrest going on here, but preparedness is a day-to-day thing. Things can happen, the unexpected can happen. That's what makes an SHTF event an SHTF event, is that unexpected aspect of it. But the more bases that you can cover for the day-to-day things like flat tires, that kind of stuff, being able to make money if there's an economic downturn, looking at your gear, paring your gear down to your specific needs and situations. This is all part of the day-to-day preparedness. But anyway, it's Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little information, a little entertainment out of this video here, and you guys have a good one.